welcome back, everyone.
To Witches, Legends, and Ghosts.
Oh my. Episode 4. Our first non-Halloween themed episode.
We wanted to mention that the Halloween special was like a last minute thing. Like we have all of our themes like picked out. Obviously we can like change them, whatever. But we have all of our themes picked out. And so our first theme is Michigan. And that was going to be our first episode. But then my other friend gave me an idea that we should do like a Halloween special. Because like spooky, that's like our podcast.
Yeah.
And Halloween, like it didn't make any sense to like start after Halloween.
Right.
And so like those 3 episodes like are technically our first 3 episodes. But like for me, the podcast doesn't really start until now. Like those were special. This is like the real first episode. This is what the first episode would have been.
Yes.
And so you were saying before we started, like the research that we did with this one, we did so long ago, like in the summer. Like,
yeah.
So it could be like not as good as the Halloween stuff.
Yes.
Because we kind of like got into a groove with the creepy stuff, and now we're like changing, like to something completely like different.
Yeah. So, we're sorry.
So if
this
it's bad,
this is like our first episode.
Yeah, we're like officially starting over.
Yeah. Also, okay.
It's not gonna be any different for you guys, but okay.
I had to get my cat.
Quick break. We had to lock the cats inside because they were out on the balcony,
and we don't want car noises. And also, we are balancing. If you couldn't tell, we changed the setup.
Yes. If you couldn't tell.
If you're watching on YouTube,
yes,
you can tell.
Yeah.
We changed the setup last 2 episodes. We sat on the couch instead of on the floor, and because of that, we ended up being slightly too close, so the mic started echoing. So we had to like splice both of the sound. It was a whole thing. We had to like cut each of the audios like minute by minute, like not minute by minute, but like we had to go through it and make sure it didn't sound echoey because our mics were too close. Yeah.
So we're trying this.
Yes, so
and it seems to work.
All of that to say that right now the laptop is on my cat's tree. The cat tree. My cat's cat tree.
And so
she likes jumping up onto the top, so we're gonna hope that she doesn't.
Yeah.
But
if the camera gets shaky, it's because there's a cat.
There's a cat on top.
But they're fighting right now, so.
Okay. Also start.
I'm ill. And so instead of a shot of alcohol, I'm having a shot of nice, refreshing water.
Agua. I am having a shot of Bailey's, but s'mores Bailey's. You can have Bailey's.
No. That's okay.
Sorry for you.
Sorry for your loss. Cheers. Ding, ding. Yummy. I love me some nice, refreshing water. Agua.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right. Last thing before we start, we're doing 2 new Oracle decks. This is actually the very first Oracle deck I ever got. Mystic Sisters.
And then this is a new one, you said?
Yes, my newest one.
Woodland Wardens.
So we have my very first and my most recent.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And they kind of go together. A little, like the witchy, like nature-y vibes.
I was going to say.
You can tell these ones are a little more worn out.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
These ones smell so good, guys. If you ever went to a book fair, you know what I'm talking about.
The book fair smell. Wow, that's so specific, too. I can, really picture that.
They had the erasers, that, scented erasers and everything. Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh. Mine are not.
Does that sound nice? Can you guys hear the cards? Or is that just horrible?
Ooh.
Are you keeping it a secret, or is it flipped up?
It's flipped down. I'm keeping it a secret.
Secrets are no fun.
Unless we share with everyone, which we will at the end of the episode. Okay. So I believe you begin this week.
Okay. I will get into it then. So, everyone knows the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes. I think that's one of the first conspiracy things that I ever, like, heard of was the...
I feel like... You're kidding. I feel like the Bermuda Triangle is, like, the first... Isn't it, like, the first conspiracy, like, ever? I feel like it is. That or, like, aliens or something. Do you know what I mean?
Or Amelia Earhart.
Ooh, no. Amelia Earhart was for sure the first conspiracy. Yeah. Was that solved?
No, it's never been solved.
Oh, okay.
I think that they've, like, there's a lot of... We'll cover it.
We'll cover it. We're done.
There's a lot. We're not going to know, because there are a lot of speculation.
A lot. There's, like, pictures and stuff.
It's one of my favorite conspiracy things to just speculate.
When you were in elementary school, did you guys do, like, a live, like, what did we call it? At my elementary school, we had this thing where we, like, dressed up as, like, famous historical people.
Like the wax
museum. Yes. Yeah. Taylor, my younger sister, she dressed up as Amelia Earhart. And so we still have, like, the poster board that me and my mom made, because my sister's not very creative. No offense, Taylor. She admits it. We made her, like, poster board for her, and we still have it downstairs. Like,
I was Anne Frank.
Really?
And I have a really funny story to go with this, actually, because I didn't actually read The Diary of Anne Frank
You were a fake?
I was a fake, but it gets worse.
How does it get worse than being a fake?
Because I had to pretend like I did read it. So when the teacher came over...
No. I know where this is going.
The teacher came over, I'm explaining stuff, and you know how I ended it?
How did you end it?
They all lived happily ever after.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
And I still got an A.
Oh! You're
Clearly,
kidding.
she was not paying attention.
She was not at all paying attention. Or she was just like, I hate my job anyways. Just give them all A's. I mean, they're like 6 years old,
literally
okay?
9. It's fine.
I feel like 6-year-olds shouldn't be getting anything other than an A. Like, already bringing their confidence down? No, thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
So, the Bermuda Triangle. We have the Michigan Triangle. I'm going to show you a picture of where it is. It's on Lake Michigan. And we're going to try and put pictures up on the screen somewhere.
If you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, we can just describe it's in Lake Michigan. The triangle is like on the west side of Michigan towards the middle of the UP, or of the LP, I should say. And then it's towards like the bottom.
Mm-hmm. It's like across the lake from Chicago, like directly across from Chicago. And then it connects to near the Manistee National Forest in Michigan. And then
it goes like straight down.
It goes over to Wisconsin. So that's where the Michigan Triangle is. And the people speculate that the triangle has accounted for numerous mysterious events dating all the way back to 1891.
Oh.
When a schooner, which is just like a sailor.
Okay, I was like, what the hell is a schooner?
Named Thomas Hume, set off across Lake Michigan for lumber. He disappeared along with his crew of 7 sailors, and not a trace of the boat was found. And that was in 1891.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot, though.
Lay it on me.
I'm going to lay it straight down on you.
I am ready.
Roosevelt ship. In 1921, 11 people inside the Roosevelt ship disappeared, and their ship was overturned in Lake Michigan. The ship had been damaged in a collision, but no other ship had reported an accident, and no other wreck was ever found. So they just crashed into nothing.
Maybe they crashed into the Black Pearl.
Davy Jones. Davy Jones' locker. This next one is also mysterious. Captain Donor.
Okay.
Captain George R. Donor. On April 28th, 1937, Captain Donor vanished from his cabin after guiding his ship through icy waters. So the captain went to his cabin to rest. And 3 hours later, a crew member went to alert him that they were nearing the port, but the door was locked from the inside. And when they broke in, it was empty. He was nowhere. So he just vanished. The ship was fine. His crew was fine. But he went to take a nap, and then he projected somewhere else.
Huh.
Gone. Captain Donor.
Wow.
I know, right? How do you
Maybe
lose your captain?
Maybe he jumped out the...
And then we have flight 2501. I don't know how to, like, 2501?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how.
I think that sounds right.
2501. It happened in 1950. It was a Northwest Airline Flight 2501. It was carrying 58 people. It crashed into Lake Michigan. Obviously, the plane was never found. And at the time, again, 1950, it was one of the deadliest commercial airline accidents in American history.
Oh, wow.
I guess the pilot had requested to descend to 2,500 feet because of a severe electrical storm, which was lashing the lake with high-velocity winds.
Wait, but wouldn't you want to go above that, not below it?
I don't know how planes work.
I think you're supposed to go above storms, like above the clouds. So why would he go below?
Maybe he was already, like, low. And so he was like, I'm not going to make it above. And so, like, I think maybe...
to the ground,
yeah.
to be able to land if he needed to. That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I don't know what an electrical storm, like, sounds like the worst time to be in the air.
Yeah.
Like, the worst time
Truly
to be in the air.
worst.
And obviously the plane disappeared from the radar.
Of course.
To this day, the plane wreckage has not been found, and the cause of the crash, nobody knows. About 2 hours after the last communication with the flight, 2 police officers reported seeing a strange red light hovering over Lake Michigan and disappearing after 10 minutes, some people believe that, like, a UFO, like...
Took them?
Took the whole plane.
Well, that's what they think happened to the Malaysian airline.
Yeah, it is. And, like, how... Because there's no way... How does a plane disappear? What goes up must come down. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Is that Newton?
Is that, gravity? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Newton.
Newton knew what he was talking about, okay?
Yeah.
I trust Newton. So, yes, that, planes can't just disappear. Without, like, a trace of where they went. Like, if the plane crashed, matter can't be destroyed.
Especially in a lake, because I feel like the lake, I mean, do we know how deep Lake Michigan is? I don't.
I don't. I will.
Because I feel like with the ocean, it's kind of understandable because I feel like currents can take things further away than where they might be looking, and it's like way deeper, so if
That's
it goes
true.
too far down, like it would be hard to find. But I feel like in a lake, usually they're not as deep, and usually you'd be able to like scour it. But I don't know, the Great Lakes, they're called that for a reason because they're so big.
I know, but, like, at least with I guess technically the ocean has borders too, but, like, the ocean is, like, just endlessness.
Yeah.
Like, that ship could have, like, water's crazy powerful. It could have, like, floated however many feet away. The lake, it's in there. If it's not in the lake, then it's on land. Like, there's no other option for it. Lake Michigan is 922 feet deep at its deepest.
Okay.
So, like, that's pretty deep, but, like, it's a lake.
Doable to...
It's a lake, guys.
Tacoma, yeah.
There's land and water. So, I don't know. It was definitely a UFO.
Okay.
So,
confirmed 2501 is a UFO.
Don't worry about
it. Taking by a UFO.
Taken? Sucked up? What do you call that?
Beamed up.
Beamed up. And now they're all those people...
They're living in space.
All those people are living in space. That's where Guardians of the Galaxy comes from. Confirmed. So people blame the triangle mystery on the Michigan Stonehenge. Henge?
The huh?
Is that how you pronounce it? Stonehenge?
Stonehenge.
Henge. I always want to say hedge.
Stonehenge.
That's not it. It's Stonehenge. It's NG.
Do you have a Stonehenge?
A little bit. So, 2 professors discovered it while looking for sunken ships for a research project that they were doing. Okay. It was in May of 2007. They were, like...
Recent.
Yeah. They were swimming from one, like, shipwreck to another, and they came across an arrangement of stones in Grand Traverse Bay. The stones stood out because they ran roughly, like, in a line with, like, almost, but, like, they were in a line, but they also, like, were in line with circles. Like, I have a picture of, like, so, like, the stones are in a line, but they line up.
Like with a radar thing.
With a radar circle.
like that a ship has. If you can picture like a radar, it kind of looks like a bullseye.
Yeah.
Like on all of like the parallels of that, the marks are, if we can't get the picture, or
if we can't get a picture,
it's like all of them are in a row. If you were to go from like the outside of the one circle through the middle of the circle, bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
If you were to go from the outside of one circle through the middle to the other side, it's like all of these stones are in a row. But if you were to draw the circle on the outside, they all line up with that circle.
They line up with a circle.
That's really weird.
It is really weird. And that's why they were like, they saw that. And they were like, huh, that's interesting. So they like took pictures of it, but then they like kept going because they're like, we're here for like sunken ships, whatever.
Right.
So they went back, and then after looking at the pictures, one of the, because these are like doctors at like a university.
Right.
One of the doctors noticed that a stone had like a carving on it, and I want you to guess, because you've never heard of this.
No.
And I've never showed you pictures?
No.
Because I want you to guess if you know, if you can see what they see in the stone here.
What the heck?
Yeah, I want you to see if you can see it.
I see things. I don't know what I see, though.
So they think that, like, here's legs, a butt, an ear, an eye, and a trunk. Like an elephant.
Oh, I see
But not an elephant. You know, like a mammoth. They call it, I think it's called like a mastodon.
Yeah. Oh, I think it kind of looks like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I can pull up like a better picture, but I wanted to see if you could see
is that
it.
like... It's a carving of it? Or is it like No, it would be a carving. It wouldn't be a fucking fossil. Jeez.
It wouldn't be a fossil?
No. I'm thinking, wow, fossil. No, they would just be bones. Oh,
no, that would be...
Man. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Oh, boy.
There's, like, they obviously have, like, they, like, edited this to make it easier to see. But, like, yeah, you could definitely, like...
Oh, yeah.
It for sure looks like that.
Yeah, it does.
And so...
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so, and I guess, mastodons or mammoths lived, like, thousands of years ago, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, like... The people who, like, found these pictures and found these rocks think that it was, like, some cultural thing of, like, during the Ice Age and stuff like that, and they, like, found the carvings. But why are they in, like, a line, and why are they, like, also lined up with, like, circles? Like, I wonder if there were more stones, do you know what I mean?
Would have been there. That's really interesting, because I know that, like, Michigan used to be covered in just glaciers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, covered in glaciers during the Ice Age. And we're called, like, we have, like, the Michigan Basin, because basically Michigan is shaped like a bowl.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the deep grooves is from, like, the different glaciers and stuff. And then it, like, receded. And that's why we have the Great Lakes. It's because of all the glaciers and stuff. So it would make sense if maybe that stuff was there either before or after, like, during the Ice Age or something. And then maybe that's just, if they just fell like that, though, that's crazy.
I know. That's why I was, like, thinking, like, maybe when the water wasn't there, they, like, arranged these stones like that. And then, obviously, like, the whatever
melted. It, like, melted and stuff.
And now we have the Great Lakes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So some people think, though, that, like, arrangement of rocks and stuff is, like, what do they call it? They think it's, like, a portal or a, like a vortex of energy that's, like, causing, like, the shipwrecks and causing the Michigan Triangle and stuff.
Magic
Yes.
stones.
Yeah, some people think that, like, the Michigan Triangle is attributed to these stones that were found in 2007.
Interesting.
Because they're, like, awkwardly arranged. That's why they're called, like, a Stonehenge, because it's, like, they're in line with a circle and they're also, like, in a line.
Yeah.
So it's not just, like, rocks thrown randomly. There's, like, a pattern
There's
to
a pattern to it, like how there is a Stonehenge.
Like how there is a Stonehenge.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Some other people think all the stuff just happens because of UFOs, and then obviously, you know, some people are like, oh, it's just like the extreme weather. That's why airplanes just disappeared and we don't have any traces of where they went.
I'm sorry.
There's no damage. There's nothing.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's the Michigan Triangle.
That's really cool. That's really interesting. Yeah. It's really cool that they have something that they think they can attribute it to. How did they come up with that exact triangle for the Michigan Triangle?
That I don't know.
Because that's like very, like how, I don't even know what the Bermuda Triangle, like what those...
I don't even think I've seen the Bermuda, like, is it actually a triangle? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it?
Well, we'll have to cover that too.
Yeah. So that's the Bermuda Triangle, everyone. I hope we can get those pictures up. Michigan.
The Michigan Bermuda Triangle.
The Michigan Bermuda Triangle. I hope we can get the pictures up.
Yes.
Because you just need to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, to understand. And then if you're listening, if we can't figure it out, we will like post it on Instagram or something so that you can at least see what we're talking about
at all.
Okay,
so what have you got for us?
So I'm bringing the Michigan Eloise Psychiatric Hospital or Insane Asylum.
Okay.
Which is kind of mean, but yes, it's interesting. They made an attraction out of it, and like I want to say it was like 2019. It was very recent.
Oh, that's really recent.
Really, really recent that they decided to make like a haunted house out of it. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I told my grandma about it, and she was saying like she knows about it, and that was always like a really creepy place that like.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask my parents.
You should.
I'm sure my dad would know about it.
You should. Okay, so the Eloise Psychiatric Hospital is located in Westland, Michigan.
Which is near Farmington Hills, Dearborn, Wayne, Lyon, Novi.
All that area. Oh, so Socorro, huh?
I'm
Socorro.
Psycho.
I was gonna say kind of and sort of at the same time.
Okay.
Anyway.
So sort of near us.
Yes. So there's a movie called Eloise. I've never heard of it, but it was based off of this.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that movie come out? Do you know?
Nope.
2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's recent too.
Maybe that's why they ended up making it into
That's definitely why.
Yeah. Okay, so this place was named after Eloise Davik. I don't know.
Davik, okay.
She was born in 1888 and died in 1982.
Okay.
Yeah. She was the daughter of Detroit's postmaster, and they named it after her. Her name was picked for the name of the post office on the grounds of the Wayne County House, which is what like this whole area was. But then the name Eloise became a generic term that was used to like describe the entire area. So it used to just be named. It was like the post office was the Eloise post office, but then they just called the whole thing Eloise.
Okay.
After a while,
like the area.
Yeah, like the complex and all the buildings and stuff. So it operated from 1839 to 1982. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. It was originally a poorhouse. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. I didn't either.
Okay.
It's a government-run building, basically, that helps to support and have housing for people who need it.
Okay.
And then it was also, like, a farm around the same time, and I think these people worked on that farm. It was, like, as, like, a little... Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, it became an asylum, a sanatorium, and a hospital. I'm sure you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1832.
1832.
It was the Wayne County Poorhouse. In 1872, it was the Wayne County Almshouse. In 1886, it was the Wayne County House.
Okay.
And then in 1913, it got divided into 3 different things. The Eloise Hospital, which was a mental hospital.
Okay.
The Eloise Infirmary, which was the poorhouse. Okay. And the Eloise Sanatorium, which was specifically for tuberculosis patients.
Okay.
Yeah. So collectively, they just called all of those different things Eloise.
Yeah.
Then in 1945, it was the Wayne County General Hospital and Infirmary. And Eloise, Michigan? I don't know if it was the full name, like Wayne County General Hospital and Infirmary and Eloise. Or if they were just saying that, reiterating the name again. Right. So whatever. Yeah. Then, this has a lot of history. Then in 1974, it had 2 divisions instead of 3. The Wayne County General Hospital and the Wayne County Psychiatric Hospital. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, in 1979, it was the Wayne County General Hospital. while the psychiatric part was closed in 1982.
Okay.
Yeah. So still around.
1982?
Still
That's
recent.
recent.
Yeah, yeah. So, at its most popular, you can say that, I guess. It sounds like a weird word to say. But Eloise had 78 buildings. It was on 902 acres.
Oh my God.
It had 10,000 patients and 2,000 staff members.
Okay.
And it was the largest psychiatric facility in the United States at the time.
Really?
Yeah. Now, only 5 buildings out of the 78 and the Eloise Cemetery are left.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The cemetery had
so
patients.
So the rest of them were, like, torn down? Or
they burned down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The cemetery had patients from the 3 branches that had no known relatives or had relatives who were unable or unwilling to bury them. So they just left them there. So there's a whole bunch of just, like, unnamed people that are just there. Yeah.
I love how their family's just like, we don't want them.
Yeah, they're like, no thanks. They're crazy. Why? That's why they're in there. Speaking of why they're in there, do you want to hear a list of things that might get you into a mental hospital way back then?
Oh, no. It's going to be like, you didn't want to have sex with your husband or something.
That's pretty close to some of them.
Okay, good.
So this is from 1864 to 1889. So it may have changed a bit, like in the 30 years when, like, that this is from to, like, when the Eloise one was from. But this is just, reasons for admission. We're just going to go down. Intemperance and business trouble. Just wait. Kicked in the head by a horse.
That's so specific.
Hereditary predisposition. Ill treatment by husband. So if your husband treats you bad.
You need to go to a hospital, not him.
Ready? This next one's one of my favorites. Imaginary female trouble. Hysteria.
These are so specific.
Immoral life. Imprisonment. Jealousy and religion. Laziness. Marriage of son.
Marriage of son?
Masturbation and syphilis.
Wait, those are together?
Yep.
Okay.
Masturbation for 30 years. Huh? What is that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
If you do 29 years, you're good.
You're fine.
As soon as you hit 30,
bye. Medicine to prevent conception. So
birth control.
If you were on, yeah.
If you were on birth control, you're
menstrual derangement.
Oh.
Novel reading.
Crazy. What?
Novel reading. So us.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh. An opium habit. Overaction of the mind.
What is that? That could mean anything.
Overstudy of religion. Overtaxing mental powers. If your parents were cousins.
That one's valid.
Periodical fits. Tobacco and masturbation. They had lots of things against masturbation.
Why are they together?
Political excitement. Politics. Oh. Religious enthusiasm.
Politics? Fever. You could go into the insane asylum with politics? Okay.
Yep.
We need that.
Fever and loss of lawsuit. Fits and desertion of husband. Asthma. Bad company. Bad habits and political excitement.
Wait, I'm sorry. Pause.
Yep.
Bad company?
Yes. So if people don't like how you host, they can report you and you will be in an insane asylum.
I love that.
I understand from that.
That makes sense.
Brain fever.
Brain fever.
Brain fever. Death of sons in war. That's fair because I feel like it would correlate to depression, but I don't think that's like the reasoning.
Death of daughters, though, is fine.
Well, that's specifically in war.
Yeah.
Deranged masturbation.
Next.
Desertion by husband. Dissolute habits. Domestic affliction. Domestic trouble. Dropsy. Don't know what that is. Egotism. Epileptic fits. Epileptic. Excessive sexual abuse. I don't know if it's by you or if it happened to you.
I'm guessing if it happened to you because everything else sounds like... Yeah. If you get deserted by your husband or you desert him, you're crazy. He's fine.
Suppressed masturbation.
Oh.
Fighting fire. The war. Just the war.
Just...
Time of life.
What does that mean?
Uterine derangement. Venereal excesses. Vicious vices. Ready?
No.
Women trouble.
There's finally one thing for a guy to go
Superstition.
To
shooting of daughter. Fair. Smallpox. Snuff eating
Not
for 2 years.
Son.
Spinal irritation. Gathering in the head. Wait. Wait, what is that?
Gathering in the head.
I don't know what that means. greediness, grief, gunshot wound, hard study, rumor of husband murder, Salvation Army.
Gunshot wound, you don't need
Seduction and disappointment.
You need to be in a regular hospital. Seduction and disappointment.
Seduction and disappointment. So if you try and seduce someone and it fails and then you're disappointed, then you go to a mental hospital.
If you get a gunshot wound, just go straight to the psych ward. No emergency room needed.
Sexual abuse and stimulants, sexual derangement, false confinement, feebleness of intellect, fell from horse in war. Ready? Dissipation of nerves, and my personal favorite, female disease.
That one spreads like wildfire.
Oh yeah, you know it. So those were just those. There you go.
I'm sorry.
Female disease. Tobacco and masturbation. Deranged masturbation. What does that mean? Anyway, getting kicked in the head by a horse. Fell off of horse in the war. Only in the war, though.
How often is this happening?
Apparently often enough. So, 70% of the patients that were hospitalized in mental asylums were there involuntarily.
70%.
70%. So, like, their family would just kind of, like, decided that they belonged there, and there they were. So, pretty much from that list, all of us would be in a psychiatric ward today.
Yeah.
This is how they treated people of their mental health
really
issues.
Really good, right?
With lobotomy, which, in case you don't know what that is, it is the practice of cutting and removing certain parts or connections in the brain. Seizure therapy, the use of medication to cause a patient to have seizures.
That'll fix them.
That'll do it. Give them more seizures. Insulin coma therapy. They put patients in a low blood sugar coma. Fever therapy.
So just a coma.
Yeah.
That'll make them not masturbate. What is it?
For 30 years.
For 30 years. Duh.
Fever therapy. This was the use of malaria to make patients sick and give them a fever.
I don't understand. Where's the science behind that?
They didn't. Ice baths.
They didn't.
Isolation. Physical restraints. Music therapy.
Oh, hey.
Hydrotherapy.
Oh.
Shock therapy. Television therapy.
Ooh.
Couldn't figure out what that was, but it was on there. So, okay. Back to Eloise, specifically. As a full complex, it was fully self-sufficient, meaning that it had its own police department, fire departments, railroads, trolley systems, a bakery, an amusement hall, a laundry facility, a post office, and a power plant.
Well, there's 70 buildings. They need something to put in those buildings.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, it started as a farm, and so it kept some of the stuff from that, including a dairy herd, dairy barns, a piggery.
A piggery.
A root cellar.
Okay.
Tobacco curing building, and greenhouses. Which, for the time, I'm assuming that means like actual plants and not like weed. Not the greenhouse.
No.
Okay, another fun fact. Eloise did the first kidney dialysis unit in the state of Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a good thing. That's a good one.
Yes.
So, on to the haunted part of this. The complex and the Eloise Cemetery itself are rumored to be haunted, and you can get a haunted tour of one of the buildings, which is where the psych patients were housed.
That sounds scary.
Yeah. So, here's some of the ghost stories.
Ooh.
Visitors have now reported strange things happening in the complex, even after most of the buildings were closed, and it mainly happens in the hospital and the cemetery, which makes sense because that's where like the most tortured souls would be.
Yeah.
People have found medical waste and jars with human body parts, just like throughout. Yeah, and then they also found documents that explained some like really strange medical procedures. It didn't get into what those were. It just said they were strange.
I need to know.
I know. Many paranormal investigators have conducted investigations.
They've done what?
And one spirit that is seen the most is a woman wearing white, which seems to always be the case. Mm-hmm. She's normally seen on the upper floors, but also the roof. Which makes me think did she like kill herself like by jumping off the roof?
That's
and maybe
the
that's
only
answer. That's why she's like on the upper floors and the roof and stuff. It's the only thing I can think of.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. So this part's not paranormal, but it could contribute to other reasons why there are disturbed spirits, like besides all of the horrible things that they did to them.
Besides that.
Burials in the cemetery stopped in 1948, and at that point, the unclaimed bodies were then used for research by the Detroit College of Medicine.
You're kidding.
So they just stopped burying them and started giving them to people to use without, like,
just handing them out.
Consent.
Just like, here's a full human for
Yeah.
you to just do what you want.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much, like...
Like the world was crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah. So.
I feel like malpractice.
Malpractice.
Male disease. I feel like malpractice
That one didn't
stuff,
exist.
like, I feel like that stuff still has to happen.
It does still happen, but it's just not as much. And they also
It's
have
not to
more...
the same level.
They also have more actual, like there was this one thing that I saw, where it was like this guy was like killing, he was like a nurse, and he was like killing a whole bunch of people, like old people
As you
and
do,
stuff.
as a nurse.
Yeah, right, yes. And no one really looked into it because like they were old, and so they were either already at like the end of their life, so people just assumed that they died naturally.
Yeah.
But then weird things would happen. Hospitals would notice these weird things happening and would fire him. But there wasn't any, like, at the time, there was no cross...
Oh, like sharing of
anything. Yeah, between hospitals and stuff.
Okay.
So he kept getting hired at other places so that they didn't know that,
They didn't have references back then?
Apparently not. You could just pretend to be a doctor back then.
Oh my god, I know. I've watched
crazy.
so many documentaries of people, like, women who have, like, dated men who are doctors, and they're doing, like, this research, and then they find out that they never went to medical school, and these hospitals are just hiring them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And my aunt was telling me in Washington that there was a woman there who claimed she was a doctor and was doing, like, specific, like, therapy for something, but it was, like, starvation therapy. And so, but people were just, like, going here, not telling people where they were going, and then she was just, like, killing them. And it didn't get caught until, like, way later on when, like, these two girls were there, and they, like, reached out to someone on the outside, and they came in and, like, busted them out, and then, like, busted this woman. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
I know.
Do you know how long ago that was?
No. I have no idea.
But it wasn't, like, in the olden days.
No, it was, like...
Okay.
Semi-recent.
Okay.
I think. Not like
semi-recent, like,
maybe
10
like
years ago.
1900.
Yeah.
Like early 1900s or something is what I would think.
That's
but yeah.
what I was. Yeah.
So,
So,
while on the premises, people have reported hearing strange things like, moaning, screaming, and roaring.
oh.
Just really fun. So,
Just really, really cute things.
So, as usual, a lot of people don't believe that it's haunted because people don't believe that things are haunted.
Yeah.
But a building employee has had an interaction of their own. They said there was a man sitting on some steps, and, quote, he was in Bermuda shorts, and he was just sitting there. They saw him, unquote. I think was like there were kids that were, like, on the tour, and they were going up the stairs and saw him sitting there and, like, told the employee.
Oh.
And then, so this is from the employee again, quote, we didn't see him, but there were some shadows. I would love to talk to them. Unquote. Okay. Now, there was a collection.
Bermuda shorts.
Bermuda Triangle.
I love me some Bermuda shorts, guys.
Yes. So, okay, here's a collection of EVP, which is, like, that's the voice thing where you can, like, talk to a voice box and then it, like, talks back to you. This is from a couple paranormal investigations. If you go, there's, like, a website you can go to where you can actually, like, really hear them. I'll, like, put it in the description.
Okay.
So that people can go to it so you can actually hear it. But I listen to them all, and some of them are, like, really creepy. Some of them are, like, the ones that you, like, if you listen to it without knowing what it says first, it sounds like static. It literally does not sound like anything.
Okay.
But other ones, there's ones where there's, like, screaming and stuff, and those ones, like, ooh, creepy.
That sounds horrifying.
But, okay, so, they were walking in the power plant, they got an EVP of someone saying, who are you? Better fucking get out of here.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
You don't know what they had to go through?
Yeah, for real. The rest of these take place in the psychiatric hospital.
Okay.
That was the only one that was, like, not.
Yeah.
So, another EVP sounds like a woman humming to herself. Really terrifying.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Another EVP session, one of the investigators asks, "Are you crazy?" Which is so... Why would you ask that?
That's insensitive.
And the box answered, "Yeah, maybe." Me.
They're somewhere.
Someone had like back pain from something, and they were like, "Fuck." And the EVP said, "Don't say that."
Oh, I love when ghosts have humor in
know.
their afterlife.
I know. And they also heard some screams in the distance, and that's the one that was like that. That's the one that was genuinely really scary because it was like just in the distance, and it was like, no, thank you. Footsteps following investigators when they're alone on a floor have also been reported. And it's made some people so uncomfortable that they've left the building because they, like, really, it sounds like someone's following them.
That would be me.
Yes, I would just leave.
I would just leave.
At another point, a vinyl record that was sitting on a filing cabinet was thrown off so hard that it broke when it hit the floor. The vinyl record.
Yeah.
So people have tried to debunk this by, like, throwing off vinyl records from like the same height to see like how much force it would need to like break. They couldn't recreate
I was gonna say no. Vinyl records are
they could not recreate it. Okay, so there's this picture that someone took, and I'll try and input it if you're watching on YouTube. There's a picture that someone took. It looks like a shadowy figure is just like sitting in one of the chairs in the back of the room.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it really does. It's like, it's this, like, really grungy looking...
lunchroom.
It looks like, like a dining hall, basically, with, like, these tables and chairs. And, like, in the very, very back, there's just, like, this black figure. You can't see... It
looks like he's sitting in a chair.
Sitting in the chair, yeah. It doesn't... The thing is, it's, like, in the pathway of the light, so it literally just looks like a shadowy figure. Like, I feel like if it was a person... you would at least be able to, like,
some
make
reflection.
out something. That's just
Let me see it again.
a shadow.
Oh, yeah. He's, like, partially in, like, the light. If he was a person, the light would, like, I feel like reflect off of him.
Yeah.
Because the light's, like, shining, like, at him.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, thank you.
After seeing that, I would leave.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay, cool. Well, I got my evidence and I'm out.
Yes.
Okay, so another spirit box recording. They asked them if they could, like, say lobotomy, if they actually did do lobotomies there, and they did. They, like,
really?
on the EVP said lobotomy. There are no, like, specific ghosts that people see besides that one woman they see on the roof and stuff. But there are lots of shadow people that people would see, like, just out of the corner of their eyes, and they would look, and then they're, like, gone. But they couldn't identify more about that.
Is that a thing? Where you, like, see something out of the corner of your eye, like a shadow figure, and then you look.
So...
Because, like...
does that happen to you?
Yes. That happens to me literally all the time, especially at my house.
I was going to say, you think your house is haunted, so...
Especially at my house. Like, literally, I'm, like, just reading on my phone, and I see, like, I'm at the house alone, and I, like, see something out of the corner of my eye, and I look, and there's nothing there. But, like, the house doesn't just move, okay? It's not like I had the fan on and, like, things are blowing. Like, I'm just sitting there. And I don't freak out about it. I'm just like...
Right.
Okay.
That happened to me back in the apartment one time. I thought I saw someone, like, walking down the hallway.
Yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, and I thought they went to the bathroom, but then the light for the bathroom didn't turn. Like, I had to go to the bathroom, and I thought my stepdad had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and so that he was in there, because I thought that I saw someone go in there, and so I was just, like, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then I finally went to go look, and, like, the light wasn't even on. Kevin's, like, passed out in the room, and I'm like, I definitely saw someone.
Yeah.
Someone did die in that apartment, though, so it could have been her.
I didn't know that.
They died from a fire.
I never would have went over to your apartment if I knew that.
That's probably why I didn't tell you.
Yeah. Also, like, not even, like, out the corner of my eye. Like, I'll be on my phone, and then I see something, like...
No, stop.
Move,
That's
like, behind
fucking
it.
Terrifying.
But I don't get freaked out at all. I'm just like...
Well, maybe...
I must have seen that wrong.
I guess that...
And then I go back. I'm like... Okay.
I'm making that up. No, see, I guess it's a good thing, though. Because if they're not giving off evil vibes, you're not going to get scared from it.
It's literally just like a move, like...
You're just like, huh.
Movement. I'm just like, what was that? Nothing? Okay.
Oh, cool. Nothing's...
Nothing I need to do?
We're...
I don't need to do anything? Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. And we're back.
I'm more scared of humans, honestly, than ghosts, okay?
As am I.
Humans cause the real damage.
Yes. Yeah. I saw this one thing. that was like, people with ADHD that have ghosts living in their place probably don't even know they have ghosts living in their place because they go into their kitchen and see cabinets open up and they're like, oh, I must have been doing something in here.
That is so funny.
And then there's like the ghost in the corner. Ah, damn it.
I'm trying to scare her.
So
that
yes.
is so funny.
Let's see. It is theorized that there are the spirits of tortured and teased people who got victimized in the hospital. Duh. Like, obviously that would be there. And the reason, I mean, we know this. If you don't know this, if you're not into, like, this kind of stuff, it's kind of known that people who, like, the people that had more of, like, a gruesome death or were a tortured soul in their life, they're more likely to stay behind as a ghost and, like, haunt places. So, you know, a place where they performed lobotomies and all these other, like, really torturous things definitely is going to hold a lot of tortured spirits. So,
yeah.
So, for present day, the only records that have been found are the history of health and mental health treatment techniques. So there's no actual records that have been found of the patients.
Really?
Yeah. So we have no idea who they could be.
They for sure had records. And they said,
yeah.
We beat him for 30 minutes and he still is seeing things.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. As of July 2021.
Okay.
The only buildings still standing are the firehouse, the power plant, the commissary, COMMISSARY.
Keep reading.
And D buildings, I don't know what it's like a specific part of it, I guess. It did have the bakery, but it was burned down from arson in 2020, which is sad. So as of early as 2021, that's when it became the haunted house. 2021.
Really?
Yeah. So it was turned into a haunted house. You can see I did these so long ago. These notes. As of 2021 and I will say, all of the money raised from the tickets for that.
For what? The haunted house part?
The haunted house part. Okay. Will benefit the shelter that's in the commissary building. Because they have a shelter for like...
the commissary building, it says a restaurant in a movie studio, military base, prison, or other institution.
So literally anything, just a building.
So it's just a building.
So I think they just have it as like a shelter for homeless people now. And so all of the tickets that went to the like attraction were donated for that. So
that doesn't include the ghost tour?
I will say, no, I think it is. All the money raised from the tickets for the haunted asylum will benefit the shelter that's in the commissary building.
Because they have I think they have two different.
They do. They have a couple things. So yeah, like I said, I just feel like it's very disrespectful. I like that they're trying to get money for the area because this is like a big attraction and stuff, and they probably didn't get anything from when like they filmed the movie there. Which apparently, if you go, there's like still blood from the movie, like fake blood that they didn't like clean up. So people thought that it was like real when they first were going in there, and they were like really disturbed because they're like, why are they taking us through when there's literally blood on the seat? Like, but it was from the movie. They just didn't clean it up.
Because there's a couple girls from my internship who went there, and I think I told you this. There's a couple girls from my internship who went to this thing, and first of all, they said it was like, no offense to whoever's running this, but like they said it was kind of a mess. Like they, like the line for the haunted house, because they do like a haunted house with like actors and stuff. Then they also do like a ghost tour where you're just like touring through the asylum. So
what did they do?
They said that the wait for the haunted house was 4 hours long, and they complained enough that they like got them to the front basically, because they like were like, I'm not waiting 4 hours, that's ridiculous, like we bought tickets, blah blah blah, whatever. And so they did the haunted house, and they said that like obviously the haunted house is like asylum stuff, right? That like they had a fake like actors like in a bath like acting like they're getting electrocuted, like patients were getting electrocuted, and she was like, I felt really uncomfortable because like that actually happened, like in this like where you're doing this is where that happened, like people died right like here. And so she was like, I felt really uncomfortable doing that. The ghost tour, it sounds like, was cool, obviously, because that's like
you're just walking through
telling you the story of it. But like the haunted house, she was like, I don't know, I felt really uncomfortable. Like, definitely it felt like they were exploiting it.
For
even if they are giving the money for like a good cause, it's still like a weird thing to do. And I also think like they were doing something with the cemetery too, like I don't know what about the cemetery.
Like a walkthrough, maybe?
Yeah, but that, like, I feel like that's fine.
That's fine.
That's more history stuff.
I found out that my cousin, some of his senior pictures were taken in a cemetery.
What cemetery?
Somewhere around here, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's, like, right next to, like, a lake that, like, the reflection's all pretty and stuff.
Okay.
And...
He doesn't have tombstones in the pictures.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a little weird.
Yeah, no. It was that's
so
the location of it.
Normally, they are in, like, really pretty places.
Yeah, they are.
Like, there's ponds and stuff around.
Yeah.
But yeah, she went there, and she said that she wouldn't go back. She also said that the parking lot had food trucks, and, like, they were doing karaoke in the parking lot of this place where these people were tortured.
Do you know how much the tickets were?
She said they were, like... I think she said they were, like, $40 or something. I wouldn't take my word for it.
No, I'm just saying that feels, I don't know.
I like, yeah.
For a 4-hour wait, too.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, karaoke. Like, people literally died there, and you're singing karaoke. You're singing Carrie Underwood.
Before he
Jesus,
cheats.
Take the Wheel.
Oh,
like, both of them. You're singing
time.
Taylor Swift. Like,
oh, I love Taylor Swift.
Died.
Have you? I doubt it.
I didn't watch any. I don't.
No,
do
her new album.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't listen.
It came out on the day that we were going out to Washington, which was perfect for me and Hyla. And I, like, listened to it on the plane, and it's so good. This is, like, the first time in a long time that I, like, really vibe with a lot of her songs.
Like,
because I, like, fell out of listening to her for a while.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying, like, she's the first, like, it's been a while since you vibed with an artist, like, every song that artist put out, but just Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think... Gosh, when was I think 1989 was the last one that I, like, really listened to when it first came out and, like, actually really, really enjoyed. And then it wasn't until, like, literally a year ago that I got into Folklore and Evermore, which were her recent ones. And then last year when she was doing, like, the Taylor's version of Red, that I got back into it. And then she, like, this was gonna come out, and it's so good. Like, they're just all very much songs that I, like... feel good when I listen to it. You know what I mean?
Feel good music.
Yeah.
We all need some feel good
Especially, it's really cute. You can tell that a lot of the songs are because she's, like, with her partner now. And it's really cute. You can tell a lot of them are based off of, like, finding him and, like, how that's, like, helped. Like, it's just so cute.
That is cute.
So.
Oh, you have it pulled out? Yeah. When did you do that? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, while you were talking about something, I think.
Well, it's good that you...
Yeah, so that you can... It should have a number on it, and then that goes in order. So, from the Mystic Sisters Tarot, Oracle, the card that came out is Witch's Brew. I'm trying to show... It's, like, a woman that has, like, vines.
Let me see.
With faces in the vines.
Ooh, yeah, there's faces in the vines.
So,
like a
this
fire?
says... like a hearth.
Hearth. It's a hearth. It's a hearth.
Okay. So the keywords for this are cultivate, healing, and refine. The witch stirs her cauldron. It's a cauldron.
Okay.
The witch stirs her cauldron full of the perfect healing herbs to cure anything that ails you. Her whole world is rich with resources, and she has cultivated it all to concoct her potions. Throughout time and through extensive efforts, she has developed skills, knowledge, and wisdom. This goddess is creative, industrious, versatile, and talented. She gives a centered feeling of well-being by the warmth of her fire. When this card is drawn, it's time to develop and refine your own qualities of constancy.
Let me see. Constancy.
Of constancy, attention, and imaginative consideration. It is well worth knowing what you don't know and taking time to fill in the gaps of your knowledge and your chosen interest.
It says the constancy is the quality of being faithful and dependable. So read the sentence again.
When this card is drawn, it's time to develop and refine your own qualities of constancy, attention, and imaginative consideration.
Okay.
It's worth knowing what you don't know, taking time to fill in the gaps of what you like. Basically.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that.
So I feel like that could definitely talk about the podcast and trying to figure out how to put things in.
Figure out how to do things. Okay, so I have from the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck, I have the trout and lily of the valley.
Ooh.
You're not going to be able to see this at all, but it's cute.
Has he?
Yes, you can see.
I don't think I have seen
The meaning is purification.
Ooh.
It says both the trout and the lily of the valley symbolize return and restoration. A river or lake teeming with trout indicates a balanced and healthy ecosystem. Conservation efforts at rewilding streams often focus on reintroducing trout to their native habitats once rivers have been decontaminated and barriers such as dams removed. Likewise, in the Victorian language of flowers, the lily of the valley communicates a return to happiness.
Aww.
This is perhaps due to the legend of Saint Leonard. We're getting a history lesson here. Okay.
I love this.
The legend of Saint Leonard, a hermit said to have slain the last dragon in England. Wherever the blood of the dragon was spilled, lily of the valley grew, and once the dragon was killed, Saint Leonard returned to his life of peaceful solitude. And it came out upright. It says, your difficulties are subsiding and happiness will soon be restored. Now is the perfect time for quiet meditation and deep introspection. Which I feel like you had a lot of deep introspection today.
Oh, I sure did. I've had a lot. And also that kind of goes with that, like looking within your own qualities.
It does, yeah.
Coming up with something that, like, filling in the gaps of things you don't know of your interests. I really like that.
There's 2 questions at the bottom.
Oh, tell me.
It says, is there a harmony within my personal ecosystem? And how do I tell the difference between a toxic person, situation, or idea and one that is required for balance?
Ooh. Wow, I really like those. Those are time for introspection.
I was going to say, that is some deep introspection there.
All right. Well, think about that, friends. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. I like that we have to sing because we don't know what to do at the end.
I know.